What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. We have the preview patch note, so rapidly I'm gonna talk about it and then we are gonna talk about the skills of Moloch, the new legendary hero coming this Friday, and Javis, the new epic one. So let's begin with the patch note. You are gonna see this is gonna be really quick because we don't have many things but interesting things still. We are gonna have the chapter number 17 in the campaign coming this Thursday, and also we are gonna have two events on it, on which we are gonna have to farm in the two difficulties to obtain some excellent wishes on the lowest difficulty and some miracle wishes on the hardest one. Chapter number 17, that means they are gonna introduce the new faction, but we are gonna have no hero from the new faction this Friday, so I don't understand that. So I don't know. Then they are gonna add a chat messages notification feature. Okay, we can turn it on and or off. Added a language channel feature to the word channel. Okay, then optimize the skill description of the epic hero Norma's basic attack. Why not? And added the information of guild language, total guild members, and power requirements to the recruit channel of the chat system. And this is all for the news about the patch note, the update coming this Thursday. And now let's talk about the two new heroes coming soon. The first one is Moloch, as you can see on the screen, another attacker from the Doom Legion. First comment around that. Stop adding DPS for this faction. We need only support heroes. Before describing the hero, let's have a look to the game, okay? Wait a second. Yeah, this is the faction Abyss. We have 1 DPS, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have only one legendary support here. Okay, Forecast is another support, but there is no great shield. There is no big attack down on enemies. There is no consolidation at all in this faction. This sucks. We need supports. We don't need damage dealers. Here, only bad supports too. We have Liz. This is the only one we can use. Only Liz and Aylat can be played with Forecast, and then we already have Little Jack, we have Andras, and this hero feels like another Andras, to be honest. So let's talk about it. So let me put the pictures back here. So this is another burner hero with the force mark, and he is quite the same as Andras. So Moloch has a great basic attack, okay? He can deal 3 stages of attack damage to a single enemy, and each stage inflicts burn damage. And burn damage ignores the defense of the target and is scaling over the mastery, so probably on the basic attack he's gonna do a lot of damage. His first active skill, he's gonna summon 5 meteors that are gonna prioritize attacking different enemies. Don't know if it is efficient, but against the boss, the 5 meteors are gonna go on the boss directly, and so probably he's gonna take a lot of damage thanks to that. But we don't have the coefficients yet, so I don't know. Each meteor deals attack damage and inflicts attack burn damage. So yeah, a part of the damage of the meteors are gonna ignore the defense of the enemy and they are gonna scale over the mastery. So it seems promising for now. On the passive here, he gains 1 layer of Fireball Meteor at the beginning of his turn. When an ally deals detonation damage, that means you need to play with other burner heroes. There is a chance to get 1 meteor shard, and this chance is not affected by effect hit or effect resistance. And for every X meteor shards, they are gonna be converted into 1 layer of Fireball Meteor. We don't know anything yet about that. Maybe it's gonna be 4 layers of Meteor Shard to get 1 Fireball Meteor. So in fact, you are gonna need 3 or 4 or maybe 5 detonation on enemies to get 1 extra Fireball Meteor. And when you get 4 Fireball Meteor, he will consume them all to cast the first active skill. So it looks pretty interesting if you are using a full burn team, dealing a lot of detonation damage. Probably you are gonna cast many times the first active skill. And probably this is gonna be stronger than using an Andras. You are gonna understand why I'm talking about Andras. Ultimate increases all allies attack by 40% for 2 turns. This is another burner hero that can put an attack buff on your heroes, 40%. You have Anna and you have him. Anna has an advantage. She can also increase the burn damage of your entire team by 30%, and she deals a lot of damage on the ultimate. After that, he's gonna deal damage to all enemies and inflicts extra detonation damage for once, dealing attack damage at least. The lower the target's HP percentage, the higher the extra damage. If you are against the boss in the Wuthering Coast, his HP are gonna fall down, okay? So multiple times he's gonna have a low amount of HP, and so if you cast that skill at that specific moment, maybe you are gonna have some damage increase. So I don't know about the efficiency of that skill. Maybe it's gonna be interesting to clear waves easier. I don't know. Let's jump into the exclusives. The first one, there is a chance to inflict Deep Burn 2 for 2 turns after the ultimate deals damage. Andras can apply a Deep Burn 2 on the first active skill, right? Also, if the survived enemies are no more than 3 after the ultimate is cast, reduces the cooldown of the ultimate by 1 turn. This is interesting for waves. If he can release enough damage on the ultimate, right? Exclusive level 2. Reduces layers of Fireball Meteor needed by the passive to cast a Falling Meteor, the first active skill, to 3 layers instead of 4. So if you have that one, probably you're going to deal way more damage if you are using a full burn team. So that's maybe interesting to use that in a PvE or PvP. For example, my team on Rome, I'm using a burn team and I'm using Lydia, Ogredis, and Little Jack. So 2 burner heroes, and now that hero is gonna provide the attack buff to my heroes, and maybe it's gonna be nice to use that instead of Lydia. I'm not sure about that. So, also when Moloch has 2 layers of Fireball Meteor, grants self-damage immunity and control immunity for 1 turn. The effect mentioned above can only be triggered once after Falling Meteor, the first active skill, is cast due to Meteor Shower each time. He can cast on himself damage immunity and control immunity. Okay, it's interesting, but normally if you are playing in dungeons, you have a Nordak. In high level dungeons, you have a Nordak. So you are gonna have damage immunity and not control immunity, but block debuff for 2 turns. So in my opinion, this is useless. But if you are fighting in the Faction Abyss, for example, using him instead of your Andras, or if you don't have Little Jack and if you want to use him and Andras, damage immunity is interesting. Exclusive level 3, each meteor summoned by Falling Meteor, the first active skill, inflicts 1 layer of Shattered Meteor on the target for 2 turns, up to 3 layers. Each is gonna increase the burn damage taken by the target by 15%, up to 45% more burn damage. So if you have the exclusive 3, now it's becoming better than Anna, right? Because Anna can increase your burn damage by 30% at most, and he can increase that to 45%. He increases your attack 40%, and also he can apply Deep Burn 2 to the target. Okay, that's a great hero for sure, but it's not all. During a single cast of the first active skill, the burn damage dealt by the third and the following meteors to the same target is considered as detonation damage. And so you're gonna deal way more damage with the first active skill thanks to the exclusive 3. What do I think about the hero? He's gonna make other burn heroes obsolete, maybe? I don't know, because Andras can increase his own attack by 160% during the fight, and so he deals crazy amount of damage. So maybe you are gonna want to use the 2 heroes together. We are gonna have to try new teams, but is he gonna be great in dungeons? I don't know, I can't say that, but he seems pretty strong for now. But clearly, he is here to replace one of the old burn heroes we had. And I don't like that. I clearly don't like that. We already have great burn heroes. And it's great to use them. We don't need more burn heroes, and one more time, we don't need more attackers in that faction. It's not gonna help us. It's not gonna help us. So let's talk about the next one. Let's talk about Javis here. An epic hero support from the Holy Light Parliament. One more time, another support hero from the Holy Light Parliament. This is a mistake. Don't do that. We have only support in this faction, and we have only DPS in the Doom Legion faction. That doesn't make any sense. It's not gonna help us. We need more damage dealers in this faction. More daughters. It will help us. We have only Elena today. And Elena doesn't deal a lot of damage. She is only interesting in the faction Abyss because this is the only damage dealer we have alongside Eosdin. Only two usable damage dealers in this faction, and we get other support. So he is from with the Force Mark. Basic attack deals attack damage to a single enemy with a chance to reduce the target's attack by 20% for 2 turns. It's interesting on a basic attack, but one more time, why do we have a forenail that can apply an attack down 40% on the basic attack, and all the other epic heroes released apply only a 20%? I don't get it. First active skill increases all ally speed and attack by 20% for 2 turns. And now it becomes interesting because we have many buffs and debuffs. Attack plus 20%, speed plus 20%, and that with only one skill. Attack down 20%. So even if it's not a 40%, it's still interesting, right? But it would have been better to have a 40% attack down. When an ally is granted a buff, restores the ally's HP based on their max HP. It can be triggered only once per turn. On the ultimate, deals attack damage to one enemy with a chance to inflict imprison for 1 turn. Today, we only have Lydia who can apply the imprison status on enemies, and now we have an epic hero doing that. I don't know if it is gonna be great. I mean, when are you gonna use that? In PvP maybe? This is the only way, the only content on which you want to have an imprison skill. But I don't get it. He won't get any turn meta increase. So the enemy is gonna increase his turn meta at the beginning. And if you survive, you can use that for the next turns. But if the enemy is playing a speed team, this is to nuke your team. So you will never be able to use the imprison, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. First exclusive. Acts 1 extra turn after casting the first active skill. Okay, this is interesting. Level 2, Jarvis is immune to speed down and turn meta reduction. It's interesting for PvP, but one more time, he won't get any turn meta increase at the beginning of the fight, so you are dead when you play with him. Level 3, when the ultimate inflicts imprison, there is a 60% chance to inflict a freeze instead for 1 turn. I don't know how it is gonna work. But imagine having a hero that is immune to freeze. Imagine if you can imprison him, and if you imprison him, it's converted into freeze. Is it gonna remove the imprison? I don't know how it is gonna work. So this is another only average epic hero. So if I have to conclude all of this, Javis is interesting for these 2 buffs only, and a bit of the heals, but this is only an average hero. He won't be that great, and this is an extra support hero that we don't need in the faction. And then we have Moloch, another great, amazing burn damage dealer, I think, in my opinion, but another attacker from the Doom Legion, and we don't need more attackers here. We need support, please. And he is probably going to replace one of our old burn heroes. How damaging them? He brings attack plus 40% to your team, a deep burn 2 on enemies, increasing the burn damage taken by 50%. If you have the exclusive 1, you can apply the deep burn 2. If you have the exclusive 3, he is gonna increase up to 45% more the burn damage taken by enemies, and so it's gonna be absolutely golden for the weathering cost and bosses in dungeons probably. And he will deal a lot of damage by himself. He needs to be played in a full burn team in order to cast multiple times the first active skill, which one is going to deal a lot of damage on a single target probably. So this is definitely a great hero, but I don't know. I don't like the fact that they are forcing us to replace our old heroes by releasing new powerful ones. Tell me what you think about that in a comment below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's the case, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Have a nice day and see you soon. Bye bye.